So this all sounds like the beginning of a very disappointing night. No room in the inn. The water breaks. It's 90 miles from home. I'm sure at some point one of them thought, if they didn't say to the other, this is not how this was supposed to be. But Mary's reaction tells us so much about her character. There's no recording of her complaining, of her arguing. She wasn't disappointed. She didn't cause a scene. She simply gave birth to the Messiah, wrapped her son in swaddling clothes, and she laid him in the place that had been provided both to her and for him. Joseph's character is shown in that he found them a place. He did the best that he could. The inn was full, and so he made sure that there was some place where they would be safe, where they would be protected, where they would be provided for. He gave his family what they needed. What we discover about this young couple is that their confidence in God created contentment in their hearts. Let's give this just a little bit more attention. When Mary got the news from Gabriel, the angel, that she would give birth to the Son of God, do you think she ever envisioned that birth happening while she was out of town for a government census? In fact, when Joseph got news and told Mary, we have to go to Bethlehem, don't you think there was something in her that said, I'm too close to delivery to go to Bethlehem? Did you ever think she thought that she'd be far away from her family and from her friends? That the place the Son of God would make his first appearance would be in a stable? That she would have to lay him down for the first time in a manger? Guys, we have got to learn not to allow our assumptions to get in the way of God's purpose. We cannot press for our way when God is leading us in his way. We cannot fight for what we had planned while God is trying to unfold his plans. I don't believe anything about the birth of Jesus was what Mary or Joseph had expected or hoped for, but it was all as the scriptures had promised, and it was completely as God had planned. I love the way that Amanda led us in prayer tonight. We didn't even talk about any of this, but I just love the way that she led us in prayer, because you are not going to hear me talk about us moving into the new year by complaining about the past year. We're not going to talk about how we survived 2020, how we can't wait to get to 2021, because if this is the day that the Lord has made, then that means this is the year that God has planned. The question is not about what's happening, it's what God is doing. It's not about how we feel about it, it's what God wants to accomplish in it. And so my question for us tonight is not if we're going to have a better year, but are we going to be willingly see the hand of God in places we don't want to see the hand of God? Are we willing to allow him to move in ways we didn't expect him to move? Are we going to follow Mary and Joseph's lead and be content because we're confident in God? Or will we continue to demand that God do things the way we think they should be done? This is the day that the Lord has made, even if the day doesn't turn out to be what we thought that it would be. Mary and Joseph did not expect anything that happened, and yet what we find is they were faithful and obedient and content in everything God was doing.